What is up, you guys? Welcome to Gold's Gym Venice Beach. I'm here with my client Chloe.
Hey guys.
And she is on prep for her first bikini competition. So we're gonna go get into an upper glute workout. This is an area both of us need to work on. So we're gonna hit it hard. She's gonna show me around. This is her home gym, so she's here basically daily, maybe multiple times a day on prep. And we're gonna have a great workout. So don't forget.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Yes, love that. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your training partner, your bikini bestie, and let's get right into the workout.
Subscribe.
Exercise we're doing here is a little frog or butterfly where you're going to put your feet together and come up into a hyperextension. From there we go straight into the donkey kicks, and you're going to loop the heavy band. If you want to do it exactly as it's shown here, you're going to loop the heavy band above the knee on the working leg and below the knee on the knee that's down on the bench. From there, we go straight into hyperextensions. Everything we're doing here is about 20 reps. And during the hyperextensions, I'm putting the band either on my ankles, on the lower part of my calves, get a little more tension that way. And then the last exercise in our series of 4 is a little up and over, or a rainbow from here. And you can see a little bit through my leggings, glutes starting to kick on, and the idea here is we're kind of pre-fatiguing that upper glute area, really getting into that glute medius, so that when we do move to more weighted movements, we're really going to tax that area. Usually 1 workout per week. This is kind of how I'll structure the workout. Just finished up a series of 4 band exercises to really get that upper outer glute turned on as we start our workout. So we did 20 reps of everything. We did the butterflies, lifting the feet up and the hips up. Then we did donkey kicks, and then we did reverse hyperextensions, lifting both feet up at the same time with the band pressing out. And then we did our little up and over rainbows to really get that, glute medius burnt out. We did 3 rounds of that. So now we're gonna move on to the weighted portion of the workout, and things are really gonna get fun. Here we are doing a hip thrust variation with our feet turned in. And I'm not sure where I originally found this or if I came up with this myself. It's something I've been doing every so often in my lower body training for the last few years. I think I got either the inspiration or the idea from Brett Contreras, and the intent and the idea is that when you have your feet turned inward like this, kind of the pigeon-toed foot position, if you want to call it that, you're going to be working into your glute medius a little more, so that upper glute area. So even if you're doing a lateral band walking or cable kicks, anything where you're putting your feet in this turned inward position is going to get into the glute medius a little more. And I definitely encourage you to try this. It's a hip thrust variation where you are going to need to go significantly lighter than your traditional barbell hip thrust just to be able to keep your knees together and your toes together like I'm doing here. But I think if you can master the technique, or I think if you try it for yourself, which I encourage you to do, just go really light, maybe even starting with body weight or something like that, or a heavy dumbbell in your lap. I think you'll really feel this in your upper and outer glutes as you do this. Like to sit upright, keep my core super tight. I'll usually force myself to keep my arms up shoulder height as well, so that I'm not using my core, I'm not using my upper body, I'm just using and feeling my glutes. And I do like to really kind of get to that failure point, sitting upright like that, and then sometimes for a nice variation to really burn out, I'll then lean back, keep my upper back off of the, keep my lower back off of the pad, and then kind of butterfly my knees out like you're seeing me do here. And I would have loved to have some footage of Chloe, but Chloe did not want to really be on camera, so she humored me for the intro. But other than that, Chloe did everything I did. We kind of worked and spotted each other. And the cool thing is, since we filmed this workout, Chloe has now become one of my training partners, so we're going to start training together more frequently. We are doing a reverse hack squat, and this is an exercise where it is really important that you have the technique down. This is not the safest exercise if you are not comfortable and you are not familiar how to do this. So if it's a new exercise for you, definitely start with no weight, and ideally maybe have a partner or a spotter if you're not super comfortable with this, or try it with a personal trainer. The biggest thing is you need to make sure that your head and neck position are really safe here. So what I'm doing is I've got my shoulders on the pads and I'm resting my head and neck on the headrest. So you're not seeing a lot of movement there. We don't want to overly stress the spine or stress our neck. The weight is really resting on my shoulders and on those shoulder pads here. Again, this is a safety thing or just my personal preference. I'm not doing a hinge like an RDL, I'm doing a squat. And the idea is that you can really take your quads out of it and focus on the posterior chain, glutes and hamstrings in this type of movement. And you can go really heavy, so I like to do sets of maybe like as low as like 6 to 8 reps and really load it up and feel it in my glutes and my hamstrings. 8:19, we're doing the glute hyperextension machine that they have at Gold. So this is a machine I do not have at any of the gyms I currently go to, so this is a little different for me. Chloe showed me how to use it, and at this point when this video was filmed, I was still pretty lean, not too far away from my shows, and you can actually see that glute medius kind of kicking in, working. And at first we set the weight maybe a little bit too low, so I had to do a lot of reps to get into that failure point, but this is something I was feeling really strongly, and I just took it nice and slow, really controlled it. And then as we got towards the end of the workout, I am doing a single leg hip thrust here with a heavy dumbbell. And this one is a very challenging exercise. The single leg hip thrust is essentially just as effective as the traditional barbell hip thrust in terms of muscle fiber recruitment. It can be a little tricky to kind of get your form down at first or to feel confident going heavy, but this is one that I really love. And I also sometimes love to do it where I'm holding the weight up For me, that really gets into my upper glutes if I hold a single leg hip thrust for 2 to 3 seconds at a time at the top. And we supersetted this just to really create some pain with a lateral band walk. And again, you'll notice I've got my feet pigeon-toed, and that is intentional to target the glute media. So you might look a little silly doing a lot of things pigeon-toed, but remember, it's all for a purpose. It's all for a specific aesthetic goal. This feels fine on my pelvis, but it's also an exercise I've been doing a lot. I've done barbell hip thrusts forever. If it's something that's not comfortable to you, use a pad and just play around with it, make it your own.